Yes, now, ladies and gentlemen, here we are, next day. Time to talk Backlash, WWE Backlash. Am I disappointed? A bit. Was it still a good show though? Yes. Let's break it down. First match out, the one I thought was going to be first match out, the Fatal 4-Way. The one I thought was going to be match of the night, but in my opinion was not actually match of the night, but it was a close second, I would say, definitely. This match was exactly as expected. I mean, a Fatal 4-Way brings just chemistry throughout all the men, hard-hitting moments, some crazy, just non-stop action, really, right? And the important parts to take from the match, Jacob Fatu obviously retained. I mean, that was obvious. LA Knight was not going to take the belt back. Damian Priest wasn't going to win. Drew McIntyre would have been the only man you could see taking the title off of Jacob Fatu, but it could not be yet, right? Not 3 weeks after Jacob's just won the title, so that wasn't going to happen. Jacob obviously won. But what led to Jacob winning was good because it meant the other three men weren't discredited, and there's probably a bit more of a story for Damien and Drew to chase the title in the future. And maybe a bit of LA Knight because, right, Damien and Drew took each other out. You know, their rivalry still is obviously very much there, and it's spilled out into the match where both men are fighting away from the ring, and they're fighting in the fans, and then Damian Priest hits a South of Heaven through the tables on the back. So both their men are out the equation. It looks like LA Knight is getting a bit of momentum on Jacob Fatu, and it's just one-on-one. LA Knight, Jacob Fatu. Solo Sikoa's there to ruin the match. And you think LA Knight is not going to fight, he's going to start fighting Solo Sikoa? No, then someone jumps the barricade and jumps LA Knight. I'm thinking Tama Tonga's back. I'm thinking Tonga Loa's back. But no, it's someone new. It's someone in a hood. He pulls the hood down. We see the shot of the back of his head, and he has me thinking, Zilla Fatu. Maybe. No, it's someone else. Joe Cobb, was it, or something like that? I can't really remember his name because it's a bit different on commentary, but I don't know if he's a small wrestler, but he's probably the newest addition to the bloodline, I'm guessing. But he beat up LA Knight, and then Jacob Fatu looked at Solo and this new guy pretty funny, as if, what the fuck you doing that for? I wanted to win this match by myself, and now you're doing this. But Jacob Fatu did what he had to, and he had to hit that moonsault, and he had to retain his title. But we all know he's not happy with Solo for that one. And now it means when Solo turns on Jacob, or Jacob turns on Solo, Solo's got this new Joe Cobb guy, if that's his name, got this new guy on his side. And it means when Tama Tonga Loa come back, whose side are they going to be on? My guess is Jacob's. I mean, I can imagine they won't be outnumbered. There'll be another split in the bloodline, but who knows? Who knows where it'll lead? There's probably lots of things going on for Jacob right now. There's probably still one more match with LA Knight because LA Knight got beat up by that Joe Cobb guy, so he's definitely not done with the bloodline. There's definitely another match down the line for Jacob between Damien and Drew, either as a triple threat or as individual one-on-one matches, because both their men were taken out of the equation. Neither one of them was pinned. And then we've got the Solo and the new guy. We're definitely going to feud with Jacob in the future. But next match out was the women's match, the Intercontinental Championship one. The one where I thought Becky would win. In a match that I thought wouldn't be that interesting. But in my opinion, was match of the night. The chemistry these two had was amazing. Just, it was great wrestling, you know. Like, it wasn't slow. It wasn't all this high-flying, really fast stuff. But it was brutal. It was hard-hitting. They fought to the death. It was quite back and forth. And there was quite a lot of kick-outs from Lyra Valkyria. Lyra Valkyria kicked out of 2, maybe 3 manhandle slams. Didn't let Becky lock in a disarmer. And I don't even know if she hit her finishing move on Becky, but it ended in a roll-up after Becky had poked Lyra in the eye and I think maybe broke her nose at some point in the match. And there was a bit of a roll-up battle which Lyra got the better of, which I was quite surprised because the way the match was going, I mean, Becky had the momentum most of the time, which usually means the person loses, but I just felt like the Becky win was coming, and it wasn't, and Lyra retained it. And while I didn't expect that, I'm not mad at it, because Lyra is deserving to be the champion. No one said Becky had to win that title. No one says Becky's done chasing that title, and she won't get it in the future. But people were also complimenting how Becky brought eyes to the title, eyes to the division, and eyes to Lyra Valkyria. And now that eyes are on Lyra Valkyria and the championship, Lyra beating someone like Becky has now propelled her so much more. And when she shows up on Raw, that pop is going to be 10 times louder than it was before. And it was just great. And people now knowing about her and seeing her in-ring ability, it's gonna go hand in hand. It's gonna do her a lot of favors. And it's all thanks to Becky, because not only did Becky put the spotlight on her, but they performed impeccably. So I can imagine now loads of people are going to be fans of Lyra. So it was the one and only prediction I got wrong in terms of winners. We'll get into some more predictions later, but I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. You know, if Pat McAfee had beat Gunther, which he didn't, I would have been mad. You know, if Jacob had lost the title, I would have been mad. If Randy Orton had beat Cena, I would have been mad. But I'm not. This was the one match that didn't go the way I thought it was, and I'm not mad about it. The third match out, which was the most boring match of the night for me, Dominic Mysterio, Penta. I mean, it was literally like a match you saw on Raw. Like, there was a few moments, like there was a suicide dive turn DDT from Dominic Mysterio that was quite clean. There was... I mean, that was really it. I mean, normal Penta performance, normal Dom performance, not bad at all, but nothing interesting, nothing I thought that was really PLE worthy. I mean, we had the Judgment Day get involved, then they all got kicked from ringside because Finn took too long to attack Penta. He was about, you know, JD had the arms locked up and Finn was about to go after him, and then he went, hang on, let me get a chair, and he botched it for everyone, and Judgment Day got kicked out, and it didn't end up helping, you know, just showing that Finn has no more chemistry with them guys, right? And then it was the eventual, because the ref being distracted by them, the eventual interruption by El Grande Americano, the fake luchador, which is really Chad Gable, who is becoming a luchador to take out the luchadors, who used that metal in the mask on the nose to headbutt Penta, take him out. Dominic Mysterio took advantage and retained the title. Now, plenty of things to break down. Penta is now going to start feuding with El Grande Americano. Hopefully, as a luchador can unmask El Grande Americano, will obviously bring... oh god, I forgot his name. Rey Fenix. Will obviously bring Rey Fenix back in because Rey Fenix lost at WrestleMania. And this will start a Lucha Bros feud with America Made, most likely. So that's pretty exciting because it's taking Penta somewhere else, and we've got something to do with this El Grande Americano. But also, I've seen a couple of screenshots when Dom was walking out with the Judgment Day celebrating his win. Finn was eyeballing that title. Finn, Dom is happening soon. And do you know what my prediction is? My prediction's SummerSlam. My prediction is SummerSlam, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio. That's not the first time they're going to face off. I think it's going to happen by Money in the Bank or something like that. But Finn isn't going to get the win. It's going to be SummerSlam when Finn comes out as the Demon to bring the Demon back, and the Demon takes the title off of Dominic Mysterio. That's my prediction. And what? Right? I feel like AJ is going to beat Finn tomorrow on Monday Night Raw. And AJ is going to be Dom's next opponent, not for Saturday night's main event, not for Money in the Bank, but maybe the PLA before that, if there is one. I don't think there is. I think it's Saturday night's main event, then we'll wait a month for Money in the Bank, then SummerSlam. So maybe it's AJ, Dom, it's Saturday night's main event or Money in the Bank. Regardless, SummerSlam is when Finn takes that title and we finally get a Finn Balor push. Then next was the Gunther Pat McAfee match. Now my prediction for this was that Gunther destroys Pat McAfee, and maybe we get a Goldberg interruption during the match, resulting in a Pat McAfee win. Or after Gunther's already destroyed Pat McAfee, he continues to beat him up, and then Gunther comes out. But the match was slower than I anticipated. Not that I thought Gunther was going to be massively fast, but I thought Pat McAfee would bring a lot of high-flying offense, and Gunther would beat the shit out of him. Gunther did beat the shit out of him, but Pat McAfee gave back a bit more than I thought he would. Pat McAfee wasn't as good in ring as I remember him to be honest. But that's fine, because he's not an in-ring wrestler, so he won't scrutinise that, right? Michael Cole was very involved. I like that. And you know what? At one point when Michael Cole was shouting down the microphone to Gunther, I was thinking, hang on, it's a great idea here. Pat McAfee, an announcer in the ring. Michael Cole, an announcer, getting involved. Who is the other announcer there that night? Wade Barrett, former Intercontinental Champion, a man who's beaten John Cena. Do you know what I mean? I thought, hold up, wait a minute. They have a chance to get Wade Barrett back in the ring here. You know, imagine he's beating up Pat McAfee. Michael Cole goes to help Pat McAfee, and Gunther's beating up Michael Cole. Wade Barrett gets in the ring, hits the bull hammer, the wasteland, and we get Wade Barrett back in the ring. I thought that would be cool, but that didn't happen. So that sucks. But there was a point Gunther was about to powerbomb Michael Cole. I mean, Michael Cole has got balls, by the way. As a commentator who has no fucking physical ability whatsoever, he got in that ring and stood up to Gunther and said, fuck off. He didn't say fuck off, but he said, end the match and stuff like that, you know, have mercy on him. And even after the match, you know, I was expecting, right, Goldberg's going to come out now. You know, he's choked out Pat McAfee. Goldberg's going to come out. No. Gunther awkwardly stood there because Pat McAfee took forever to get to his feet, you know. Awkwardly stood there while Pat McAfee got to his feet. And it looked like he went to shake his hand, but he didn't. He just waved his hand, and I guess it was sort of a sign of respect, I guess. And then just left, and that was a sign of respect. And Gunther's no longer a heel. Well, he probably is still a heel, but he showed him respect, and Pat McAfee got a standing ovation. And I just thought, what was the point in that? You know what I mean? Like, I get the point is they're trying to build Gunther up again as this ruthless, dominant guy, but that's not impressive against a ring announcer. Not a ring announcer. Commentator. Yeah, he's an athlete, a former athlete, but he's still a commentator. He's not a professional wrestler, and he's by far nowhere near Gunther's level or even the lowest mid-card's level, right? But the idea of him beating up the commentators to become dominant again was that someone like Goldberg was going to come for the save and was going to bring some actual competition. But that didn't happen, and it ended up being he legitimately just beat a commentator to try and look dominant, which seemed so pointless to me because this was a rivalry built in 3 weeks, and now he has Pat McAfee's respect. And now what's he going to do? Do you know what I mean? Are we even going to get Goldberg Gunther? If it is, I can imagine now it'll probably be SummerSlam, which is dead because, like, it seems like a waste of a match to me personally. Do you know what I mean? But it's fine. We'll get over it. Main event time. My prediction was John Cena retains. You know. And I didn't expect Rock to come out. I did expect Cody to come back. Not to cost Cena. Not that he wouldn't, you know, be against Cena, but I didn't think it would get Randy the win. I thought Cena would win and then Cody would come out, or Cody would come out to fend off Travis Scott or someone, and Cena would still end up getting the win. Randy and Cena put on a great match, you know, both showing their age a bit. I think there was a few botches, like they were a bit slow for some moves, and I think when they used to feud, Cena used to be quite a bit bigger and Orton used to be quite a bit smaller. And now when they're both older, Cena's a bit smaller and Randy's quite a bit bigger, so chemistry didn't work as well as it used to. There was a table spot where Randy Orton attitude adjustment to Cena through the announce desk, but he just kind of didn't go through it, and then it just collapsed after Cena was already on the floor and it looked dead. So then Orton pulled out the table, which I'm guessing was off script, and then did the table spot, which still didn't even break clean. Like, it still was slow. Man, there was a lot of cool spots. I mean, so many RKOs, so many attitude adjustments. Randy kicked out of like 3 A's. Cena kicked out of like 4 RKOs. Referees were taken out like 3 times. Chad Patton was taken out. Then there was another ref came in. He was taken out. Then Chad Patton was taken out again, or something like that. Chad Patton was taken out twice, and then the other ref, forgot his name, was taken out also, right? And then Nick Aldis and all that came out to help one of the referees, because the second referee that came out got hit with the title. You know, Chad Patton just got knocked over a couple times. The other referee actually got hit in the face with the title, which is what beat Cody at WrestleMania and beat Randy tonight. So Nick Aldis and all the executives and producers were helping the referee, and then Randy Orton RKO's Nick Aldis because he's mad at him, and then RKO's every single executive. So we're just seeing like 7 to 8 continuous RKOs. I mean, it was crazy, right? And then he set up a punt kick like 3-4 times. They teased it, never happened. Even Cena mimicked Orton, tried it, a punt kick, didn't happen. Eventually, Cena hits the belt off of Randy Orton's head. I'm thinking, ref's still down. Either Cody's going to come out now and try and fight Cena, because that's how Cena beat Cody, and Cody's not going to allow that to happen again. Didn't happen. Ref comes in, counts the pin. Cena's won. The same bullshit way again. I mean, people can be mad about it, but the whole gimmick was Cena saying, I'm going to ruin wrestling, you know. People are expecting this great big retirement tour from Cena, and he comes in as a heel and says, no, you know what? I'm going to ruin it for you. It's the perfect storyline. Goes to WrestleMania, ruins the main event of WrestleMania. Rock doesn't show up. Travis Scott ruins the match. Cena wins by hitting the title off Cody's face. And then with Randy, no one comes out, and Randy has so many opportunities in St. Louis, in his hometown, and Cena hits the belt and beats Randy. Like, he is purposely doing it in the most disappointing ways, but I still thought Cody was going to come back after the match, and it didn't make sense why he didn't, because the man's not injured. He might have a bit of a break, but it's been 3 weeks. Do you know what I mean? I really did think Cody was coming back. Even if it's just like a face-to-face, you know, because we know when Cody's coming back, he's not done chasing that title, and he's not done with John Cena, and knows Randy Orton. Cena's cheated the pair of them, so they're obviously going to come back at Cena, so I don't know why it didn't happen. I'm not mad Travis Scott didn't show up, because to be honest, I'd be happy if he wasn't there in the fucking first place. I am mad The Rock didn't show up, but not a Backlash. I didn't care about Backlash and The Rock showing up. I would have been hyped. I was actually hoping it would happen, but the fact that it didn't happen at WrestleMania, I didn't want it to happen now. If you could show up at Elimination Chamber and Backlash and not show up at WrestleMania, you have no right to be in the Hall of Fame, in my opinion. That was a joke, obviously. But, I mean, to be fair, his response to why he didn't come to WrestleMania and participate in the storyline that he helped start, you know, like, I know you're not a WWE wrestler anymore, but you've started a job, at least finish it, do you know what I mean? You can't expect the fans to not want that from you. That's a fair assumption, a fair expectation, because you have jumped into the storyline. You've rode the coattails of Cena's retirement tour, being the ending credit scene with the greatest of all time, a big, massive hip-hop star and the current WWE champion in a big, shocking moment where WWE used the F word for the first time on TV and John Cena turned heel for the first time. Multiple record-breaking things happened on that screen, and you're fine to be there and be in that picture, yeah, while all that's happening, so you can be involved in this great moment, but then not bother to show up ever again and get involved with the parts that are to help build it, to make it great. Fuck you, don't want you anyway. I never personally liked The Rock that much anyway. I mean, didn't hate him, but I thought he was a bit of a cocky cunt, and now I definitely agree with that, because fuck me, why people, and yes, wrestling fans' expectations are way too high. We always expect these amazing moments, but at the same time, I don't blame them, because in the last 2-3 years, we've been getting that. Do you know what I mean? So we're always hoping, we're always fantasy booking for the next best, biggest thing. And while we don't always need that, we're always hoping, right? And when it doesn't happen, yes, we're disappointed, and we have a right to be disappointed, but at the same time, we have a right to not be, and it's fair not to be. And WWE doesn't need to spoil us every time, but in the main event of WrestleMania, the hip-hop star came out before the actual wrestling legend. Do you know what I mean? The man who started the storyline didn't even bother to show up. So I'm not bothered that he didn't show up tonight. Forget the tangent. Cena won. I'm happy about it. But there was a moment in the match where R-Truth blocked Orton from hitting a punt and says, "You're not hitting my goat with that," you know. R-Truth's very forgetful and stupid and really isn't tapped in with reality. But when it comes to John Cena, he is. Randy Orton took out R-Truth, you know. He wasn't happy about it because he likes R-Truth, but he was like, "Nah, you've just cost me this, so now I'm going to take you out." And I seen a clip in the post-show press conference. Cena was actually about to behave himself, and he said, "You know what, I'm going to take a step in the right direction. I'm actually going to accept questions from the press." And he was about to accept a question from the press until R-Truth came out and said, "Well done, Cena, I'm so proud of you." Cena actually ended up, people saying he's breaking character. I don't know if he was, but he let out a laugh. He let out a laugh, and he laughed at R-Truth, and he says, "I've always supported you, I'm so proud of you, even if they say you suck and you can't wrestle." Cena's face drops, and he says, well, grabs a mic, stands up very slowly. He says, "Ron," calls him by his real name, lets him know he's serious. "You've crossed the line now. Don't let it happen again, or there'll be consequences." And then, I can't remember what he says, but Cena picks up R-Truth, turns on R-Truth, his biggest fan, yeah? Attitude adjustment through the table at the press conference, right? You don't get that stuff at the press conference. And he's just turned on his biggest fan after being the one person that he didn't turn his nose up at since his whole heel turn. Which is crazy, right? So people are already speculating we're getting R-Truth Cena at Saturday night's main event, and they're acting like it's confirmed. I don't know where it's being confirmed, but I wouldn't mind it. I definitely wouldn't mind it, you know. I mean, R-Truth's not a legendary wrestler. I mean, in our eyes, he is, but like in terms of the prestige of Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, John Cena, he's not that level. But that's why it's perfect for Saturday night's main event, because the story is there. The story is there. We've already had confirmed for Saturday night's main event Logan Paul, Jey Uso, which I'm also glad is on Saturday night's main event, because what I said about Logan Paul getting too many opportunities, I feel like this is perfect. If he is getting that opportunity at the World Heavyweight Champion, the first man to face World Heavyweight Champion in his first title defense on PLE, obviously there's been Seth Rollins, it should be something like Saturday Night's Main Event. Why should Logan Paul get the Money in the Bank spot and the SummerSlam spot, but that could be reserved for an actual great storyline and a great wrestler? I'm not saying Logan's very good in the ring. Very good in the ring. I just think there's some superstars that are more important right now. If Jay had been a champion, like what happened with Logan Paul, with Roman Reigns, should I say? Roman had been champion for so long. At that point, they were just doing whatever, like, and everything worked. It wasn't that like they were just doing pointless things. It's just they were just looking for what's next. What should we do next? Jey Uso's just become champion. Why is Logan Paul first in line? Do you know what I mean? I mean, Seth has technically had a shot now, but Logan was there first. He was claiming a shot first. Like, what's going on? You know what I mean? So I'm glad. I'm actually quite happy that's at Saturday Night's Main Event. Put Logan on a smaller PLE. You know, he's got a name, but this is wrestling at the end of the day, right? It's not media. Although it is media, it's not social media. The point isn't the views. The point is the entertainment. Give us what we want to see, and that's Jey Uso beat the fuck out of Logan Paul. If he can beat the shit out of Gunther the way he did at WrestleMania, by golly gosh, can he beat Logan Paul black and blue? I would love if he beat Logan Paul in 5 seconds or dominated him for 20 minutes. I don't care. I like Logan Paul. I just don't like the way he's booked sometimes. That's my opinion. Anyways, I've ranted a lot in this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.